Thomas Hobbes's 1651 masterpiece, Leviathan, captures his grim picture of humanity's natural condition. Let's unpack Hobbes's vision of the state of nature, the social contract he proposes to escape it, and why his claim that human life without absolute sovereignty is solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short remains so controversial. Imagine a world without kings, parliaments, or police, just individuals, each pursuing their own needs and desires. For Hobbes, this isn't a romantic wilderness of noble savages. Instead, it's a precarious arena where scarce resources, fear of death, and the drive for glory pit everyone against everyone else. In Hobbes's famous words, "In such condition there is no place for industry, because the fruit thereof is uncertain, and consequently no culture of the earth, and the life of man solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short." Here solitary means isolated, unable to rely on anyone else. Poor connotes constant scarcity. Nasty captures the mutual hostility. Brutish underscores the bestial violence when law is absent. And short reminds us that without security, life expectancy plummets under perpetual threat. Hobbes identifies three principal causes of quarrel in the state of nature. Competition. Desiring the same resources leads to conflict. Diffidence, mistrust, and fear prompt preemptive strikes. Glory. The quest for reputation and honor drives individuals to assert dominance. Left unchecked, these motivations make life intolerable. There is no industry, no culture, and no art. There is only survival and struggle. Hobbes's solution is radical but straightforward. Individuals collectively agree to surrender their individual rights to a sovereign authority. This sovereign, whether a monarch or an assembly, holds absolute power to enforce peace and security. The terms of the contract are: give up the right to judge for yourself. You agree not to punish others on your own. Transfer enforcement to the sovereign. The power of sword and gavel now resides with the authority you've empowered. In return, the sovereign guarantees protection of life and property. The fear of punishment keeps subjects in check, and the power of the state suppresses the anarchy of the state of nature. Partial or divided rule, Hobbes argues, invites disagreement and paralysis. If rulers can veto each other, the machinery of enforcement grinds to a halt, and the specter of anarchy returns. Thus, only an indivisible sovereign, uninhibited by competing powers, can maintain the peace. Hobbes's chilling verdict on human nature and his endorsement of absolute rule have sparked centuries of debate. Critics argue that Hobbes trades away essential liberties for a promise of safety. Is life under total authority truly better than the chaos of nature? What if the sovereign becomes tyrannical? Thinkers like Rousseau counter that humans are inherently good and corrupted by society. They resist Hobbes's bleak assumption that self-interest inevitably leads to conflict. Modern democracies rest on the idea that power must be checked and balanced. Hobbes's vision seems incompatible with elections, free speech, and the right to dissent. Despite controversy, Hobbes's framework underpins much of modern political theory. Rule of law. The idea that without clear, enforceable laws, society dissolves, echoes Hobbes's fears of the state of nature. Even when our governments are elected, we continuously negotiate the balance between personal freedom and collective security. Think public health mandates, taxation, or surveillance policies. Hobbesian power dynamics show up in international relations, where states act primarily to protect their own interests. Thomas Hobbes forces us to confront an uncomfortable question: would you trade some freedoms for guaranteed security? Is the safety of absolute sovereignty preferable to the freedom and the risks of a more open society?